Hi guys, so as you can see, the title is Parenting Your Inner Child. And I chose this title and I wanted to talk about this because yesterday I was just having a conversation with some friends about, our parents and the role that they play on our lives and everything like that. And for instance, from my own personal experience, I know I had to allow myself to, be that bird that flies out of the nest and do her own thing because of, just let me just say it, like toxic situations and not feeling as though, your parents are benefiting your journey and your path, rather hindering that. So I knew for me, I had to go off. But then there was one friend who was like, I just have to look at my parents and be like, well, they did their best, all they can do. If they don't know better, how can they do better, et cetera, et cetera. So I just look at them and blah, blah, blah. I look at them and not blah blah blah. Let me put the words to it. But he said that he looks at them and just say, they did their best. They do what they gotta do, and I totally agree. You feel me? Like I completely agree. Like our parents literally, like they started from somewhere, and whatever knowledge they had prior to conceiving a child, they did what they knew they can do. And it goes back to, well, at least for me, I was looking through my notes today and I was looking at a note that I wrote addressing, I didn't send it to my parents, but I addressed it to my parents, forgiving them for, just like the same thing that he was saying, like they did their best. They didn't know better. They didn't do better. I looked at their situations and to them, it could have been a success. Not to say it wasn't, of course. Like if you look at it on paper, it's beautiful, the life that they had and how they raised me, whatever. I'll leave that one alone. But anyway, so I just wrote a letter to them. But then I also, the concept of parenting your inner child is really important to understand what that even means, because many people don't know what that means because they're so used to being parented by their parents. So they left it, because many of our inner childs aren't being parented in the way that small child needed to be. This is a small child. The way that small child needed to be cared for and loved on, etc. And I'm gonna use my own experience as I go into, because I want to read you guys the letter that I wrote to my inner child, But yeah, and understanding what that even means to people, I feel as though we get so caught up in not really knowing how to address the inner child because we have so many different influences coming in, and then your parent is still parenting you. So why the hell am I parenting the inner child? So I knew from my journey, getting into my own space, and allowing myself to hear what the child was saying and quieting my mind through yoga to being able to hear what that inner child is nagging me about. Because when I tell you, and I can't wait to finish my me time video. It's just more research and brainstorming I gotta do for that. But definitely, I'm gonna read my the note that I wrote to my inner child, and then I'll go into like my own experiences of being in my own space and hearing my inner child really roaring at the adult me to like love the fuck out of her, So let me read it. So I said, to my inner child, I will continue to learn who you are and love you for all the changes you may make. Yeah. I will support and be there for every dream, idea, goal, and aspiration you have in life. I will listen to and understand and comprehend all that you are translating to me and move in a way that correlates to what you're asking of me. I will love you unconditionally because I know that you are there and present at all times. I will acknowledge all of your needs and help you decipher what your wants are. I will play with you, create with you, write with you, do everything with you because I love you. Love will be what heals us both. So I will keep showing you love until you can't get enough. I will nurture and comfort you in times of need and show you that you are not alone. I will be the best parent that you deserve. Made perfectly for you. You will be my first child I parent, and I will be the best and do the best I can to outshine anyone who failed you before. I love you, Tiana. my baby girl, my love, my everything. Let's do this together. And I cry because the inner child is really crying, you know, because I needed to say this to myself. That inner child needed the emotional support of a parent to be able to, you know, flourish and take on whatever it is that inner child wanted and needed in life. And I'm so glad that I wrote this to myself, because I literally forgot, because we neglect our inner child, and some people don't even know they have one. But it's that, you know, when it comes to relationships, if you look at your relationship, it's that one, you know, that one that manifests into codependency, or, you know, wanting reassurance and everything like that. And it's like we're nagging at these other people to do this for us. But I chose in myself to be a parent to my inner child. And I realized in my own life, like, being alone, like, my inner child doesn't want to get up early at times. It wants to lay down in bed. It wants to do pretty much nothing. But then adult Tiana has to wake up and be like, no, let's go. Let's eat breakfast. We have to feed ourselves. Let's take a shower. Let's brush our teeth. And it seems like simple ass shit that we should already do. But baby, let me tell you, depression will have you laying in bed doing fucking nothing. Not showering, not brushing your teeth, not washing your ass, not doing... Okay? So it's important, for me at least, in knowing how to parent my inner child, that I did these things. You know, I was intentional about doing these things for myself. And like, literally, I have another list that I'm going to post in the description box. Just tiny little indicators that I tell myself, or the inner child was telling adult Tiana to acknowledge, to address, you know, and to really have that attention with myself. Because, for instance, in my childhood, I was, just say it, okay, I was not emotionally supported, and I was also, like, financially, yes, everything was, you know, down to the pack, but I need that emotional support. I needed someone to be there when I was sad, and I didn't have that. So it was a lot of alone time that I had when I was a child. So it was just me raising myself in a sense, and the way that I needed to, or whatever. And now I'm just in a space where I'm really continuing to raise the woman, but also like parenting the inner child. You know, inner child be yelling at me like, oh, I want to eat cheese doodles today, but like, bitch, no, you're fucking vegan. Eat your fruits and veggies. Okay, like, you know. And I can't wait to go into more depth in my me time channel, because, excuse me, my me time video, because it goes into what it is I do in my me time, but at the same time, that's where I address that inner child to doing what it is that she loved to do. And I always tell people, when you're trying to find your passion, this is like a little side note, when you try to find your passion, look to your inner child. Look to what you'd like to do when you were a child, because she will fucking tell you. Because my inner child is, okay, like, if they say look at your moon sign to know who your inner child and how that your inner child work with you, and I'm a Sag moon. So sis is blunt, sis is, you know, extravagant. She got a lot to fucking say. So I'm gonna drop the list of certain things that my inner child was telling me to do in my description box below, so that you can see and even ask yourself these questions, like, you know, I'm not even gonna spoil it, but yeah, I wanted to keep this video pretty short, and if I have to elaborate, I will in a later video. But yeah, I just really wanted to share that, because like you see, it made me cry. Like, I haven't cried in a really long time, and I was thankful that my inner child showed up in me reading that for you guys. So yeah, thank you.